Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the Wairika City Council meeting for November 4th. It's currently 5:30 p.m. and we are going to go into closed session this evening. Before I do that, I will just ask for public comment. And as there's no public here, I will move on to item number 3, which is our closed session item. The City Council will recess to closed session to discuss Item A, which is the public employee employment of the position of city manager, and this is pursuant to Government Code Section 54957. Good evening. I'd like to welcome you to the Wairika City Council meeting for Tuesday, November 4th. It is currently 6:30 in the evening. And will you please stand and join me in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I would also like to report out from our closed session this evening. We went into closed session at 5:30 p.m., came out of closed session at 6:23 p.m. with no reportable action. And will the clerk please take the roll?
Good evening, Wairika City Council. Please let me know you are present by saying aye. Drake Davis. Thank you. Paul McCoy.
Aye.
Corey Middleton. James Clare.
Aye.
Colleen Baker.
Present.
Thank you.
Approval of the agenda. What are the wishes of the council?
I will make a motion to approve the agenda as presented.
I'll second the motion.
I have a motion from Councilmember Clare, second from Councilmember Middleton to approve the agenda as presented. All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes. Yes.
Yes. All opposed? Motion passes unanimously. Presentations. This evening we have First Five Siskiyou for the 18th annual Read Across Siskiyou event.
I'm gonna set my box right here. That's
Perfect,
okay.
absolutely.
And then can I hand out some materials?
Yeah, John can help you with that. Yeah.
Everyone, look, it should be open set. Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, my name is Michelle Harris and I am with First Five Siskiyou Children and Families Commission. So thank you very much for allowing us to present. Are you familiar with First Five?
Yes.
Okay, I was gonna say, perfect. Okay, just a tiny bit of background. What I like to start is First Five, it's tobacco tax from California, Prop 10, that funds commissions all our counties throughout California to support families with young children. And so we're talking about for prenatal up to age 5. And I'll talk about Read Across Siskiyou here in a moment, but for First Five, we're looking about over 20 years. Last year we celebrated, or I should say in April, we celebrated 20 years of this work in Siskiyou County, and it's looked different, but I have to say I've been part of it for almost the 20 years. It's been amazing as funding ebbs and flows and partners of that. It's really an exciting time for us and challenging time when we talk about funding. Because we've really worked hard to collaborate and partner with many of our organizations and agencies within Siskiyou County, like public health, social services, behavioral health, and multiple other community-based organizations to extend our reach as well as other funding. And so a lot of our programs do reach that's 0 to 18. Today I'm going to talk about the Read Across Siskiyou, which is definitely targeted for our families with younger children. But in the packet, we'll touch base of like, there's a lot of activities and family support to reach all families throughout Siskiyou County. In our packets, actually, what I really want to show you is the pictures before I talk about the book. So it's right, it's separate than the packet to kind of show you some activities that are specifically happening in the Wairika area. So the first one is some pictures from our family fun events. And so since I think it's July 1st, we've had 6 family fun events in the Wairika area. And so this is just a little snapshot of pictures that have been taken. And in the second page also highlights some classes and events that are going to be coming up in November. We have Parent Circle, Parent Cafe, Nurturing Parents. We have our family fun event at the Hugosaurus that'll be at the YMCA that's coming up next week. And then of course, we're moving into the holidays. So lots of activities to support families during this time. And then one of our, I would say, biggest successes this year is the playgroup. So it's the second packet of information of the playgroups at the Wairika Library here. And we just continue to have more and more families attend. We have some amazing facilitators that have strong backgrounds in early sorry, I keep moving away from the microphone to really, if you think of all activities and time spent are intentional to be really focusing on, we talk about protective factors, things that are going to be supporting our families aiming for success. Any questions so far? I'm a chatty Cathy, so I like to talk about this. In your packets, and why I'm here today is to talk about our event that's coming up next week, which is Read Across Siskiyou. It's our 18th annual event. It is on November 12th, and that is where we're encouraging all children. When we're looking at, this is mostly targeted for our preschool, TK, kindergarten children to be reading the same book throughout the county on this day, or at least during the week, and celebrating the joy of reading. One of the main focuses with First 5 is really making sure our children are entering school ready to learn, and that includes reading. So the Hugosaurus, you've got an example of the book, so please share with your families, grandchildren, or anybody you know, get that out there. If you're interested in being a reader, on the front of your packet here, there is who to contact if you would love to be a guest reader. We have some local schools here that would love some new readers coming in. Don't worry, you don't have to wear a dinosaur costume or anything like that. Often it's a shirt, but the kids really enjoy having special guests come in and present. And some of the classroom and activities will include a craft that ties with that. Also in your packet is some tips about the importance of reading out loud with your child. One of my favorite programs is Dolly Parton Imagination Library. Is anyone familiar with that? Okay, see that. Is what we know is that part of it is, yes, reading out loud. And a lot of the time you don't even have to be reading the words that's there. It's about spending that time and that connection with the child and interacting with them. So it has some information about Dolly Parton Imagination Library, tips for reading out loud, and then a whole collection of different flyers of activities and events that are coming up or that we have ongoing throughout the time. And just a little bit of, I would say, stats for here, just in the Wairika areas, that we've had 24 parenting education classes with 177 parents and attending and 164 children. And with these parenting class, has anyone ever gone to a parenting class? No? Okay. Well, here's your invitation to attend. You don't necessarily have to be a parent as long as you're an advocate for a child, but it's great time. So I'm a mom of 3 with these. If you think of these classes intentional, that dinner is provided, right? Because if we're juggling being a mom or dad or being a caregiver and having to figure out dinner and get to a class. So we always have a meal that's provided. We also provide childcare that's there. So with that time is that the parents often then can be adults and spend time with others going through the same thing. And we have with the childcare, Cassandra, is Cassandra here? I heard as one of his staff members, someone who also provides that childcare. But I want to say that time that they spend with the children, again, is with intention. A lot of times the activities there are potentially for the age to be working on different skills, reading other things that they're noticing that would be supportive with that. And then we use evidence-based curriculum for the parenting classes often. And sometimes we do one-time workshops based on what the parents are requesting. My background is in nutrition. So often we do cooking on a budget, cooking classes hands-on, because that is a big topic right now, especially when we talk about the food crunch and what's going on with some of our other programs. We've had 18 play groups with 107 parents and attending, and then 174 children attending. And I already mentioned the 6 family fun events, and that's all since July 1st, which is only a 19-week period. So we're excited for the rest of this year and then moving into next year to be offering more classes. Are there questions?
Anybody have any questions?
Okay. And then we'll have two more things. Encouragement, if you are interested in attending a class or any family fun event, you're always welcome to come. We love partners. If you look at our activities that we do, often we add as many logos as possible who's collaborating. Sometimes that's providing funding, sometimes that's providing the space, sometimes that's being a guest reader. So we would love to have more of our cities be involved in this work, because when we talk about longevity, I'm from Siskiyou County. I was born in Weed. I now live in Scott Valley. But the thought of we're trying to cultivate this amazing space. And I was one of those people, I'm never moving back. It went away to school, and guess what? I lived 2 doors down from my mom and married my high school sweetheart. And so this commitment to really encourage our families to be as strong as possible. And we say that takes a village, and that can be from someone who you go to church with, a grandma, a neighbor, it's all of us. So there's a welcome invitation to learn more with that. And the executive director, her name is Karen Potts. Her contact information is on the front of this packet. And then the hope is that we have a proclamation that we would love for you to adopt and sign if it felt right.
Would you like to read the proclamation
I-
into the record?
I can. I didn't practice my spiel, but good thing I brought my readers tonight. Okay. Siskiyou County Proclamation, 18th Annual Read Across Siskiyou 2025 event, sponsored by First 5 Children and Families Commission. Whereas the ultimate goal of the First 5 Siskiyou Children and Families Commission is that all Siskiyou children from prenatal through 5 years of age will be healthy, ready to learn, and supportive in a safe, nurturing families and communities. And whereas children in Siskiyou County from prenatal through 5 years of age have a successful start in life through daily reading with supportive and nurturing families, caregivers, educators, and community leaders. And whereas early literacy is the foundation for academic, social, emotional, and economic success. And whereas First 5 Siskiyou, in partnership with Siskiyou County Library, dedicates 1 day each year to promote early literacy by providing the same title book to be read by guest readers to children in various preschools, kindergartens, childcare centers, settings, libraries, and online events throughout Siskiyou County on the same day, and provide each child with a copy of that book to take home. Therefore, the City of Yreka hereby proclaims November 12th, 2025 as the 18th anniversary of Read Across Siskiyou, and be it that this body enthusiastically endorses daily reading, singing, and playing with children as a critical foundation for healthy development and lifelong success. And don't worry, I won't sing.
Thank you.
Thank
Thank
you.
you so much. And I have a copy here of the
Yes.
proclamation that I'd be happy to sign.
Perfect. Can I take a picture? Are you signing the proclamation? You think it'd be a good idea?
Might get a picture of you two together.
That would be.
Or we could get a picture of the entire council.
absolutely love that. So I'm gonna get it. I was tasked with getting pictures.
That's it.
Yeah.
Here or now?
Yeah, let's come up.
Spare.
Well, of course.
Yeah.
All right, everybody smile. Got it. I took a few. Can we take one picture of you holding the book? Just all the council members? Grab your books. I love it. I know, it is so. And we have little craft projects for the kids, if the kids, they're gonna become little dinosaurs.
One of those, Paul? Yeah. do that.
Hey. Got it. Perfect, thank you. You're welcome.
I gotta play. With the heater off? No, sorry.
Thank you for letting us come and speak.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
helpful. So thank you. Yeah.
I turned it down, but it seems like I could never get it to work. Yeah, I'm playing it works.
Well, thank you so much for taking your time to come and talk with us this evening. This is a really exciting program. And Mr. McCoy, I believe that you've been a reader in the past. I've been a reader and it's always so much fun. So thank you. Okay, we're moving on to item number 8, which is public comment. Public participation is welcomed and invited at all city council meetings. This time is set aside for residents to address the city council on matters listed on the consent agenda, as well as other items not included on the regular agenda. If your comments concern an item noted on the regular agenda, please address the council when that item is open for public comment. The city requests that persons addressing the city council refrain from making personal, slanderous, profane, or disruptive remarks. Please speak into the microphone from the podium, which adjusts electronically up and down to accommodate the speaker. Please state your name for the record prior to providing your comments, and please limit your remarks to 5 minutes. Do I have any public comment this evening? Step on up to the podium.
Let's see, I'm not sure this is even on, but I'm sure you can all hear me. My name's Molly Almack. You can see me. I live here in Wairika, and I wanted to come tonight to express my gratitude to the City Council for acknowledging United Against Hate Week, which was October 19th to October 26th. I was unable to attend the October 7th meeting when on the consent agenda, we had the proclamation for United Against Hate Week. And I appreciate that being signed for a 4th year. And I just wanted to share with you just a few of the things that I brought out to the schools this year for United Against Hate Week. And I got posters from the California versus Hate, which is run by the Civil Rights Commission of the state of California and was established, I think, 2 years ago. And they have a hotline that people can report hate incidents. And they also will refer anyone who calls to resources that could help with them with if it was a traumatic event. So I just wanted to, I think we all are concerned about online hate. So that's what the posters they had this year were. So comment with care and compassion. And online hate has real world consequences, which I'm afraid we all know that's too well how true that is from the news. And another one is we are stronger together. And I think we all need to remember that. And that is really the crux of the whole week is, getting over our differences, celebrating our differences and our commonalities and working together to, create a wonderful community that's vibrant. So I'm just going to pass these around. Anyone who wants them, keep them. If you have a place you'd like to, if you want to post them. And then I also wanted to invite you to the event that the Friends of the Library is putting on November 8th from 1 to 2:30. That's Saturday. They tried to get it for United Against Hate Week, but the fellow that is going to be representing his mother's memoir was not available. So they're going to have it November 8th. And he is going to be reading from a book he compiled of his mother's stories that she recorded about surviving her imprisonment in Auschwitz and Gross-Rosen in Poland. The book is Only Hope, and he wants to share her indomitable spirit and talk about his experience as a child of a Holocaust survivor. So I hope you'll attend. Friends of the Library are always great about having snacks and appetizers and things to drink. So I'm just going to send out. Join us. And thank you once again.
Thank you. Do I have any other public comment? Okay, we will move on to the consent agenda. All matters listed under the consent agenda are considered routine and non-controversial and will be enacted by one motion unless any member of the council wishes to remove an item. So what are the wishes of the council?
I will move to adopt, this is Councilman McCoy. I will make a motion to adopt the consent agenda of the City Council of the City of Wairika as presented.
I'll second.
I have a motion from Councilmember McCoy, second from Councilmember Claire to adopt the consent agenda of the City Council of the City of Wairika as presented. All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
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 Motion passes unanimously. Item number 10, public hearings. We have a public hearing tonight, so I am going to go through the public hearing protocol, and our Assistant City Manager is here to present the item. So the public hearing protocol is that the mayor will describe the purpose of the public hearing. City staff will provide the staff report. Then city staff will respond to questions from the city council. The mayor will then open the public hearing, and public wanting to comment will come up to the podium, provide the city clerk with their name and provide their comments. The mayor will then close the public hearing, and the council will then deliberate and act on the item. So this evening, we have a conditional use permit for the City of Wairika Fire Hall project. Ms. Lucchese.
Thank you. Good evening. All right, starting on page 49, or sorry, not 49, that's another item that was on consent. Apologies. On page 57 of your packets is the staff report for this item if you'd like to follow along. But to summarize, so the City of Wairika has entered into escrow to purchase 4 parcels between Main Street Highway 3 and 4th Street. As you know, City Council approved to purchase that property. And we are now moving through the conditional use permit process and CEQA process, which is the California Environmental Quality Act, which is our environmental compliance regulations for you tonight. Essentially, the decision for you tonight is whether to approve the use of these properties for the new fire hall station. And so per your zoning code, they require that any public facilities such as a fire station, police station are conditional uses in most zones. And so as we follow our own regulations, as we make everyone else do, we are going through that conditional use permit process. So you'll see within your packets, there's a series of findings. Those are findings that are outlined in Title 16, which is your zoning code, specifically Chapter 16.44 outlines our regulations on conditional use permits. The findings and analysis begins on page 60, but I will summarize those. I will not read through all of them for you. But essentially, we are bringing forward a project which would be a brand new fire station on these properties that would be approximately 20,000 square feet. So these 4 lots are planned to be merged into one lot for this project. So it's about 3.4 acres. And so that fire facility has essentially been in the design process with NMR in collaboration with city staff, primarily our fire chief, to make sure that that facility meets the needs of our growing fire needs and our growing fire department. And so within that facility, you'll see that we have the apparatus bays. We have a decontamination area, which is now required within fire stations. That essentially allows our firefighters, after a call, to go and take off all of their equipment and their outfits, and they are able to launder them or take care of them for whatever call that they got for the night. In a proper way. There is a new training facilities, which includes classroom areas, meeting areas, offices for the fire chief and other fire personnel that we plan to bring on board. Some we have already brought on board, but essentially allows us to grow essentially allows us to give them a facility for the growing department needs. So the reason why we're abandoning Lay Station, which is at the corner of Minor and Oregon, is several different reasons, but mainly it no longer serves it's past its useful life and no longer serves a useful purpose for our growing fire department needs. That will create a really interesting new item for you at a future meeting, which is essentially what the redevelopment of that property is going to look like. So we won't discuss that tonight, but we will bring that forward to the city council in the future for discussion. So we're primarily focused on those properties that have 2 situs addresses associated, 915 South Main Street and 918 4th Street. And so we went through this process. So again, going through all of the living spaces, private bedrooms for our sleeper program. So we plan to accommodate that. And then we will also have an administrative office with a lobby that will have the museum items that we have in the current Lay Station. So we do plan to bring those with us. So we do have right now a projected construction beginning in spring of 2027, but I would like to state for the city council and the members of the public that we do have a big endeavor ahead of us. If you approve this to move forward, we then move into the financing package process, which we've already started. Right now, we are projecting that the total cost of demolition and the fire hall station will be around $35 million. So we will start the financing portion of that to try and layer a couple of different funding mechanisms so that we can move forward with this project as quickly as possible. Again, that is an estimation just based off of preliminary numbers. We're at about 60% engineering for the facility itself. And so we will get a final engineering number. We're just planning for 35 right now because that's what a lot of similar facilities are running for in this current day and age with supply chain and costs. So moving forward with this type of facility would meet some of your general plan goals of ensuring that public facilities are designed to accommodate reasonable future needs, as well as potentially improving your ISO or your insurance service office score. So our ISO rating, if anyone is familiar with that, determines your insurance rates for the area. And so fire personnel, the number, and your fire apparatuses do go into your insurance rating. And so with the development of a new facility, development of a paid fire staff that will be taken into account when we go to renew that iOS scoring, hopefully improving that score. We want to get to a 1. That's your best score. So it's golf score here. We're currently sitting at a 4. And so any way that we can improve that score will end up improving our overall insurance rating, thus hopefully leading to lower insurance costs for homeowners and businesses. We can't guarantee that it will lower your insurance costs, but that is a factor that goes into that. So for our environmental review today, there's actually 2 environmental reviews occurring. We have one through the California Environmental Quality Act, and we have one going through the National Environmental Protection Act, NEPA. So NEPA, we're preparing right now in tandem with this. It is not in front of you tonight, but that environmental documentation is required for any type of federal dollars that we may get for this project, which there's a strong chance that we will need USDA, CDBG, or other federal dollars to help construct this facility. There are not a lot of state pots of money or even your own pot of money that can just kind of shell out $35 million in a very short amount of time. So based on our environmental review of this project, it is a project under CEQA, which means there could be potential impacts to the environment, but it does qualify for what we call a Class 32 infill construction exemption. And so we are recommending that you adopt that exemption tonight. Precision Civil Engineering, the city's on-call environmental consultant, has prepared a supplemental document that's a little bit more in depth than what we typically do for these projects, but that's essentially to get it ready for any type of state funding, which usually needs a little bit more documentation than what we typically do for a project. And so we have provided our analysis and our basis for applying that Class 32 infill construction exemption. So going through, we have mapped out all of the findings that are related to our conditional use permit. I will not go through each one individually, but essentially we've listed a number of conditions that we recommend for approval with this conditional use permit. These conditions have been developed based off of similar projects in other areas, based off of potential concerns with this type of facility. Unlike a city hall facility or even a police department facility, fire stations tend to be noisy and tend to be very bright. And so a lot of the conditions that are recommended for approval are concerned with engineering and construction lighting that is sensitive to that, to make sure that there is no light pollution to adjacent properties. You do have some residents on the west side of 4th Street that will be immediately adjacent to this property. You do have one southern residence that would benefit from the recommended condition of a privacy wall to ensure that noise and light do not impede that residence that's there. And so we would consider that residence a sensitive use. And so we did provide a number of conditions around noise and lighting that would negate any impact to those adjacent properties. In addition to that, we're recommending a couple of conditions of approval around community engagement, essentially requiring a member of the fire department to be available if there are any calls on noise issues, not running air horns within the facility. We will have a pull-through facility, which will actually be really great for traffic circulation. If anybody knows our current traffic situations, including our fire department, this will eliminate any on-street maneuvering of the apparatus and the vehicles, which will be great. So there are pull-through bay doors. But essentially making sure that as we're responding to emergencies, that we're minimizing impacts as much as possible. We did put within the conditions that emergency and security lighting and noises are not covered by the conditions. They are still allowed to use all of those that are needed for emergency purposes. So I'm just going to open it. Oh, I apologize. We did do public noticing as per Government Code Sections 65090 and 65091, which means we did post a public hearing notice within a general circulation paper on the city's website. We also mailed public notices to all properties within 300 feet of the project. We did receive a total of 5 phone calls. One was just asking for clarifying questions, and the other 4 were positive in support of the project. We did not receive any written comments for you tonight for review, but we do recommend, because it is a public hearing, to open the public hearing and take comments tonight as well if there are any members of the public who would like to comment on the project itself. And so I will conclude my staff report and open for questions.
Thank you so much. So do any of the members here have questions for Ms. Lucchese at this time? Okay. All right. Well, then I will go ahead and open the public hearing at this time and take public comment.
Lorenzo Love. Anytime there's a project this size, there's going to be not in my backyard people complaining about it. But as somebody that lives literally a stone's throw away from this new project, I have to say I wholeheartedly endorse having this fire department here.
Thank you. Is there any other public comment?
Marie Autry. I can't wait. I'm not here to cry about the noise. I'm not here to cry about the lighting. I'm here to say, bring it on past the fire truck. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other public comment at this time? If not, I will close public comment as well as close the public hearing and bring it back to the council members to discuss and take action on this item.
Any questions or comments?
Mr. McCoy, any questions, comments? Mr. Davis? All right. Well, what are the wishes of the council?
This is Councilman McCoy. I would like to make a motion to approve City Council Resolution 2025-44 of the City Council of the City of Wairika, approving conditional use permit number 2025-01 for the City of Wairika Fire Hall project and an adoption of Class 32 exemption under the California Environmental Quality Act, also known as CEQA.
Councilman Middleton, I will second the motion.
I have a motion from Councilmember McCoy, second from Councilmember Middleton to approve this resolution as presented. Will the city clerk please take a roll call vote?
All those in favor of approving resolution 2025-44, please signify by saying aye. Councilmember Davis, Councilmember McCoy,
Aye.
Councilmember Middleton, Councilmember Claire,
Aye.
Councilmember Davis, kidding, Baker. Yes. Thank you. The motion passes.
Thank you so much. Okay, item number 11 is city business, and this is our city clerk. Come on down. And this is the 2026 Wairika City Council meeting calendar.
Yes. Good evening, Madam Mayor and members of council. Before you tonight is the 2025 City Council calendar. Annually, the City of Wairika adopts a calendar recognizing the City Council meetings for the next calendar year. The proposed 2026 meeting calendar recognizes the cancellation of the January 6th, 2026, February 17th, 2026, and November 3rd, 2026 meetings, but otherwise conforms to the regularly scheduled meetings of the first and third Tuesday of each month. Just as a quick note, the February 17th meeting does fall on a Tuesday after a 3-day weekend, and the November 3rd meeting falls on Election Day. The recommended action tonight is to adopt Resolution 2025-45, approving the 2026 meeting calendar as presented.
Thank you so much. Do any of the council members have any questions? All right. Then I'll open it up for public comment at this time. There's no public comment, so I will bring it back to the council for discussion and action. Mr. Davis?
We can adjust this at a later time also, can't we?
Yes, we can.
But it'll be a vote of the council.
Yes.
Thank you.
Any other comments? What are the wishes of the council?
Councilman Clare, I'll make a motion to adopt resolution 2025-45 of the City Council of the City of Wairika approving the 2026 meeting calendar for the regular city council meetings as presented.
I'll second that.
I have a motion from Councilmember Clare, second by Councilmember Davis to adopt resolution 2025-45 of the Wairika City Council approving the 2026 meeting calendar for the regular city council meetings. All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
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 Motion passes unanimously.
Thank you.
Thank you. Item F is city manager staff reports.
Good evening, Council. John Elsnab, Interim City Manager. I wanted to give the council and members of the public an update, some of the projects we're working on at City Hall. First off, the community theater. All of the major infrastructure has been completed for the HVAC system, alarm systems, as well as inspections. That said, we're still currently working on a few minor bugs with the alarm system. We actually have a follow-up with a technician that's coming this Thursday. We foresee the issue being resolved, and we're really looking forward to having the community theater open, booking it, and using it for the community. I want to say a special thanks to Cindy Lynch for all her work on managing the project. It was an extensive project and overhaul. Ringy Pool is at 60% construction design. It's anticipated to be at 100% by the end of December, first of the year. So we're excited about that. The fire hall, as Ms. Lucchese mentioned, is at 60% construction design. This project is more complex than the pool, although we expect the design phase to be done by Q1 2026 or possibly sooner. So good news on the fire hall. We have 2 new paid staff that will be added to November. One's a firefighter and one is a fire engineer, which brings us to a total of 3 paid positions with our goal of 6. We're also still waiting on the SAFER grant approval, but with the federal shutdown, that has caused some delays. And then we're also in escrow for the ShopSmart building, and we're looking to close before we're on November 21st. So in the next couple weeks. Recruitments, other than firefighters, we have open positions for sworn officers, reserve officers, a seasonal public works position, community service officer, and we're always recruiting for volunteers since it's going to be a hybrid department for the foreseeable future. Community presentations on the December 2nd meeting, we have the county library and Friends of the Wairika Library will be attending. They'll put on a short presentation. Just as a reminder, we are working on the parking lot lights. I'm hoping to have them completed in the near future. So I apologize for it being dark out there tonight, but we are working on it, and we do care about the safety of the community. With that said, that concludes my city manager report.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Good evening, Madam Mayor, members of the council. And with all the talk tonight about the fire station, I'll keep it brief this evening. John covered a lot of things that I was going to cover, so we didn't meet up and talk about it, so that's good. As you said, we have new employees starting. The big one is we've already received the equipment that we purchased for the under the 2 grants, the radios and all the air packs. They're all here now, so we're going to put those into service. And, you know, the trainings are going well. We had a very busy month of October with 177 responses. The majority of those were, of course, like normal medicals. And then we had a fair number of lift assists, which I reported on earlier that those were on the decline, but it just varies. It's always, you know, a moving target. So other than that, that's pretty much it. Now, if you guys have any questions, I'd be glad to answer them or any comments.
Mr.
Sure.
Blanchett.
Chief, can you comment or elaborate on the structure part on the Shasta Avenue of the boarded up house that's been boarded up and what the,
Yeah, I would like to, but we're still, it's
Better
still under
investigation.
investigation. Yeah, it's, and it went well. It was unfortunately, it was on Halloween,
Mhm.
so it was kind of tricky getting there. And, great participation. Our mutual aid, automatic aid agreements are paying dividends because we had a lot of help and it was a tough one, but that's as far as I can go right now, unfortunately. Yeah.
So of course it's boarded up, it's not lived in, so no injuries inside the house, but no
Correct.
injuries for as
Yeah,
far
no
as
injuries.
members or anything like that. Okay.
Correct.
Thank you.
Yep. You bet. All right.
Anybody, any other questions?
All right. Thank you.
Thank you, Chief.
I have something briefly. I am starting to work on Lola. The city of Wairika will be hosting the next Lola meeting. So if you guys can make a note that it's going to be January 14th. And it is going to be hopefully at the casino. I am in talks with them right now. That was it. Thank you.
Thank you. Any other staff reports? Okay, then I'm going to bring it to item G, which is the mayor, council members' reports, statements, and requests. Mr. Davis.
Yes. It seems like the fire council has been hit a bit tonight, but we'll hit it a bit more. Since I've been on the Fire Safe Council, we've talked about the Outson Road project. But finally, I figured that I'd been there long enough, I could ask a question about it. And it's a huge project. I thought it was on Outson Road, just a little short road that goes up from, in front of Walmart up the hill. But the Outson Road project starts at the edge of Greenhorn Park and goes clear around and comes down to Highway 3. It takes up a lot of places. And I believe, Jerry, correct me if I'm wrong, but I think they said they had 21 private citizens signed up to have their, fire breaks and stuff around their homes, and they had room for 25 in the grant. And they're thinking that they're going to get after it. It's been pretty slow, I guess, I think, but it's starting to come to a head, and I think it's a real positive thing for the south end of town there on the west side. So that's all I have for you.
Thank you. Councilmember McCoy.
I want to thank Molly Almack for being here tonight. Molly, this 4 years that you've been, that you have been doing this program, and it's a wonderful program, and I like seeing the posters up. I still see them from the first year we did it. So thank you. You also ought to know that Molly's husband, Steve, since 2011 has been the project manager for Beacon of Hope. And I know that when Steve and I talk, he's the one that got me involved in there. He's a wonderful person. And we're all kind of surprised. I know Steve says, well, I'd like it to be done because 14 years is too much, but I want to make sure that Molly knows that we do appreciate her husband being involved in that with the homeless. And he's been involved with the point in time count, things like that. So thank you. I had several people on Lucas Road thank me. The city went out there and patched tons and tons of holes. There must have been 25 holes out there. It's not traveled a lot because it's an industrial area, but I've had 2 people approach me and say, please tell the city public works, thank you for patching holes. So, and then finally, Wairika, although we lost a great citizen. We lost Norman Shasky. He sat on this board, on this council. And when I came on, he was sitting on the council already. Norman and I'm going to tell you, could not have been any further apart politically in our ideology. And I don't mean, I mean at the state or federal level. But Norman and I both got involved with Steve Renner, Molly's husband, in Beacon of Hope. And Norm sat right here, and I sat here for my first 2 years. And I have the utmost respect for Norm because Norm had a burning desire to make this community a better community. He had served as a mayor and a councilman in a larger city in the Bay Area before. So he had a wealth of knowledge, and he was wonderful to work with. But the community has lost somebody somebody great, because Norman would look at me and when we would talk, and he'd say, this isn't about what you believe and what I believe. This is about 7,800 citizens here in Wairika, and this is about doing what's right for those 7,800 citizens. And Norm had called me since he's been off. We've talked. He's called me and said, "Hey, I think you should do this. I think you should do that," and I appreciated that. But this community will miss Norman. Norm did a great job when he was on this council, and he stood up for this city every chance he could. So God bless you, Norman, and God rest you.
Thank you, Mr. McCoy. Mr. Middleton?
Oh, yeah, just real quick is, to Mr. Davis and the project that's going on out there is, I know it includes also Wicklow Woods and goes all the way around, because I sold one of the properties I was in process of getting involved. We had to make sure the new owner filled out all the paperwork so they can continue on the project of that property. And so I had 3 people I know that, actually 4, because I sold one on Allison Road while they're in the process as well. So they so it includes, it wraps all the way to Wicklow Woods and down. So it is huge. It's just not that little section. It goes all the way back up.
Yeah, it's a huge section.
It's a big section. So yeah, they're very grateful because it's very, very highly vegetated. So it's going to be great. So just real quick, I think COC is tomorrow, right? I marked it and I thought I marked the date wrong. So COC tomorrow afternoon meeting. So I'll report back on that at the next meeting. A young man reached out to me. I just want to give him a plug, is because his name is Rowan Garrison. He reached out to me with the recommendation of his teacher, Miss Zanato, and she's the culinary teacher, and he's in the culinary class there they provide at Wairika High School. And he's doing his senior project, and he is heading the whole drive-through dinner on November 14th, 2025. And they need 200 tickets sold, and as of today, they're only at 50. So I told him I would plug it here, and if we can help get this young man to his goal of 200 tickets sold and support him on November 14th, it's 5 to 7. Tickets can be purchased by contacting the Wairika High School. And so he was a very nice young man, and so if we can do anything we can to get him up to his 200 ticket goal, and he would be very appreciative. Real quick on Norm, I unseated Norm, but he was more than gracious. When I took his seat, he gave me some tips, and my thoughts are with his family. And like I said, he was nothing but more than gracious, and my thoughts are with his family. May he rest in peace. So with that, I will yield my time.
Thank you so much. Mr. Clare?
I did not know Norm, but I'm sorry to hear about his passing. It sounded like he was a great man. So thoughts and prayers to his family. Only thing I was going to add was I wanted to thank all the volunteers. Everybody did the Halloween parades and stuff for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, Public Works, I'm sure was involved with blocking streets, the police, fire, whoever was involved for doing the parade, and the businesses for doing the trick or treating. Next year, I would like us to try to look and see if we can find a way to block this street though. Just for the duration of the trick or treat time for the kids at the businesses, just for the 2 to 5 right there, like we do for the Gold Rush days or Golden City days, something like that. We can maybe look at, just kind of help out, but that's all I have. So thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's a big event.
Okay, well, today was election day, a special election for the state of California. And as you can see from my sticker, I voted today. It was the first time in 30 years I actually went to the polls and voted in person. I typically vote by mail, but Rocky the Dachshund took care of my ballot for me. So I got to go vote in person today, and it was great fun. I'm continuing to hold council chamber hours on Fridays from 2:30 to 3:30 and meet with Mr. Elsnab on Fridays as well. On October 22nd, I believe it was, Mr. Elsnab and I attended a presentation from a young man who has a company who believes that he has some possible housing solutions for the homeless, and that is a very, very exciting. And he's hoping to build his first tiny home here in Wairika. He's a very dynamic young man, and he's very excited about the possibilities of some tiny homes in Wairika for the homeless. And then on October 29th, Mr. Elsnab and I, we toured the library and with Ms. Lucchese as well, to hear about the many services that the library offers. And as Mr. Elsnab said, members of the representatives from the library will be here December 2nd. To tell us more about their programs. I was especially impressed with First Five, their program that they had going for all the little kids. And I just want to say that they had a table, a huge spread of all kinds of craft projects for little ones. And they had slime, I think. They had all kinds of different, I call it Play-Doh. I don't know what it is. Anyway, I saw that and I just started laughing because as a grandmother, that's my worst nightmare. But the kids really seem to have fun. And I was just really impressed to learn about all the different programs that the library offers. I really had no idea. So I'm looking forward to their visit. And I definitely will be supporting the drive-through dinner on November 14th. And lastly, I want to invite each of the city council members to a town hall meeting that our assembly person, Heather Hadwick, is hosting on November 20th here in this council chambers. And I believe that it's 6 p.m. that it starts. Yes. And so I would just encourage you all to attend, if possible, to meet Ms. Hadwick. And that's all I have. So I'm going to adjourn the meeting at 7:26. Thank you, everybody, for coming.